Okay, so the biggest problem with birds that are kept outside is going to be possible exposure to wild birds coming in which you have less control of. So what we need to do now, what I'd suggest all our chicken owners do now, because most chickens I suspect are not kept inside, what we need to do now is figure out how we can limit the exposure to wild birds. Now some wild birds are going to be a low risk, so things like magpies, for instance, are going to be relatively low risk. They're not a high risk at catching the disease because they stay local. They don't tend to mingle and intermingle with poultry, which are generally the big spreaders or migrating birds. So even though they're low risk, we still want to try and start developing practices such that we don't inadvertently attract these birds to our backyards and to our aviaries and things. So that means being very careful with feeding your birds, making sure that anything that would attract wild birds into your property, you don't do anymore. So often that's related to leaving scraps on the ground. So you might start thinking about feeding your birds enclosed and removing any excess food once they've finished eating, closing all the food dishes, food bowls, all this kind of thing. Covering aviaries and roofing them as much as possible so wild birds can't come over top. These are all reasonable things. Making sure food is well protected and well sealed so that we don't get issues with other birds trying to get into that and other animals trying to get into that who could carry this virus.